chicks are growing like crazy, and it's getting to be time for us to put them in a new brooder. We got a large Rubbermaid stock tank. I showed a video earlier of how I created. I created somewhere something to put the waterer on, and showed the stock or the Rubbermaid container and how it works. But we got 25 chicks in there, and they're growing so fast that they're jumping out. We're coming in here and pretty regularly finding them sitting on top of the Rubbermaid container. Well, hello. So we're gonna build something a little bit bigger. I've got some plywood and some 2x2s, and we're gonna construct something with a lid and some hardware cloth. And we're gonna move it out of the spare bedroom because chickens are gross. That's definitely, yeah, they're gross, right?
Yes.
It's definitely a mistake. Our carpet in here is pretty gnarly now. We put down a piece of plywood to have the tank on, which has helped a little bit, but it's kind of a mess. And these chicks are, I mean, every time I come in here, they're just looking at us to see if they can get out, and they're getting a little cramped, so we're gonna try to give them some more space and build something. Let's go see what we can make. So what I'm making is going to be pretty simple. I'm making a 4-foot by 4-foot box with 2-foot high sides. And then I'm going to make a hinged lid with hardware cloth. I'm just using some 1/2-inch OSB. So it's not a particle board, it's just OSB stuff. It's pretty much just like a bunch of shards put together, which is actually supposed to be just as strong as plywood. I'm going to use some 2x2s to reinforce it, give it a little bit more structure, and then I'm going to build the roof or the lid out of the 2x2s as well. And that's going to be covered with hardware cloth. That's going to be attached on one side, and the other side is going to have a hinge on it so that I can open it and close it easily, get in there and clean it and check on the chicks. It's going to be pretty simple because it's just with these 4-foot by 8-foot sheets of OSB or plywood. All I'm going to have to do is make a couple cuts. I'll cut it in half to get the base, and then I'm going to cut off 4 side pieces that'll be 2-foot by 4-foot, and should be able to put it together. What I want to do is fabricate it in a way that's easy to take it apart so that I can store the sides and the base all next to each other, so that when we want to use it again, it's easy to assemble it, put it back together, and use it for maybe next year if we get some more chicks, potentially some broilers, raise some meat crop. But that's the idea behind that. Not going to be super complicated. Great piece about using these OSB and a lot of plywood is it's pre-marked at specific set increments. So we've got a 2-foot mark, and a 4-foot mark, and over here a 6-foot mark, and then obviously it's 8 feet long. So I don't even have to measure anything when cutting these. I'm just gonna follow the marks. Should be pretty simple. You guys ready? This piece is going to be the base. It's just 4 foot by 4 foot.
That's
Super simple. And what I'm going to do is attach the 2x4s to here to give the base some structure. Make it really easy. And then that's where the sides will attach to, is also the 2x2s that attach to this.
It's so pink up here.
It's what?
So pink at the part of this. I know. Let me have my music.
So I am just lining out these 2x2s on here, and I'm just going to go ahead and mark them. That should be exactly 4 inches. I'm sorry, 4 feet. Which will make it pretty easy to just use the other half. Just this saw. Friday morning and we got projects to do. Previously when I was making this video, I started to show you the construction of the new brooder I'm making. But we ran into some troubles, went inside for dinner. When I came back out, it was too dark to make a video any longer. So I just finished it. And now I've got it complete. I'm gonna show you what it looks like. And we're actually gonna get some lights set up and some stands for the lights, and with the birds out here, get them put in. So it's the brooder right here. It takes up a big chunk of the shed. It is 4 foot by 4 foot. You saw me constructing the base. The sides right here are 2 feet tall. They're just shy of that. They're about 23 inches. And then I've got it framed out with some 2x2 that makes the lid, as well as the sides. This piece opens up. Got it just attached here with a nice little, just a piece of string to keep it from falling back on me. Got the bedding in there already, settling in. It's pretty simple. Some 1/4-inch hardware cloth on the top for the lid, and it has a latch on the front here that would just keep anything from opening that up. It's not super secure. I'm not actually planning on locking it, right? Just don't want any animals being able to open that up. That's why that's there. Yeah, so today we're gonna get ready to put them in there, but I do need to create some sort of a stand in order to put the lights, attach the lights to. I'm gonna hang the lights on the far side over there, and put the feed in the water on this side close to where the door opens. So the lights will go back here, so chicks can have a place to hide, and that'll give them plenty of access to. When it's cold, they can go over onto this side, and during the day, this shed gets pretty warm because it has these windows all along the top, and it's south facing, so it gets toasty in here, even if it is fall. And they'll be able to come over to this side where the food and water is, and during the day, if it gets too warm, where the lights are, which should keep them relatively comfortable and give them some options. And chickens are kind of like reptiles, very closely related to reptiles actually, where they will thermoregulate for themselves. So when they're cold, they'll move towards the light. When they're too hot, they'll move away from the light, thereby keeping their body temperature at a comfortable level. So you shouldn't have to worry about it too much, which is nice. As long as you have options for them, they can get warm and they can get cool, then they just kind of take care of themselves, which makes things a lot easier. So I got a little bit too much bedding in here. I'm gonna take some of the bedding out, set up some stands for the lights, get those going, get it start to warm up out here, and then we're gonna bring out the chickies and transfer them into their new home. I got too much bedding in here. In some places it was 6, 7, 8 inches deep, so I'm just gonna take out a chunk of it, and I can add this back in later as they mess up the bedding in order to help just kind of use it as spreading a new finish over the top. What's going on out there? Now, I'm gonna get some stands together for the lights. You know what, I think I'm going to cut these in half. I don't need them to be this big. This is just too big. So simple solutions are often the best. What I did here is I just attached these two boards, 2x4s to the side. I'm going to go ahead and attach a cross piece. It will give me quite a bit of options for how I want to hang this up. Should be good. I've got these two pieces here, and I'm going to put this one across them and attach them both on, which I think should work just fine. I'm going to go clamp them into place prior to screwing them in, because I want to do some pilot holes to make sure they're good and secure. They're not going to have a lot of weight on them. These lights don't really weigh much of anything, but it's just good to ensure that I get them at least reasonably level. There she is. Just got that one piece of 2x4 across. Ran power out from the house. We unfortunately don't have power in our shed currently. And then I've got one lamp going here at the back. And I'm going to get a second lamp going right next to it. Should provide some good heat for them. Get them nice and toasty. Good. All right, you guys ready? Why don't you guys put them in there and I'll count them as you put them in there, okay? You don't want to put them in there, just Ferris?
Let's take
Oh,
these
hold
off.
on. All right. I'm gonna hold it like this. You go ahead and put them in there. Let's not get take it all the way out because we don't want them jumping out. Go ahead and grab them. Put them in their new home. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Five hand. 6, 8, 9, 10, 12, 14.
We already did 14.
No.
I counted
Oh, yeah?
14.
Oh, well, let's count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16.
No,
17, 18,
19.
20, 21,
22.
23, 24, 25, 26,
27.
27 chickies. Alright, now we gotta make sure they got food and water. Quiet, huh? Ferris, will you go over to the house and get the other heat lamp for Mama?
Oh, yeah.
Mama should have it by the front door for us. Nice thing about having a ball dog is he is way more interested in that ball right now than he is in these baby chicks. It works out for the best.